Lori Medina, Director of Human Resources here at Betts Company. Thank you for spending some time with us today. We're here to talk about safety. And I know that some of you may wonder, why does safety matter? Safety matters because you're very important to us. We want to make sure that you are safe while you're at work so that you can spend quality time away from Betts with your family, with your friends, and enjoying other activities, as well as so you can return back to work tomorrow and for many tomorrows to come. So again, we hope you will find this very informative. And if you have any questions, please make sure you ask them by your leader, manager, or supervisor. Thank you and take care. We're here today at the Fresno Truck Parts and Service location of Betts Company, and with me is Tony Pombo. Tony's in charge of the warehouse here at Fresno. Tony?
Hi, for the next few minutes we'll be going through the warehouse and just showing you some of the do's and don'ts as far as warehouse safety.
If you cannot reach parts on high shelves, you will need to use a ladder. Never climb the shelves.
So the first demonstration was of how the wrong way to get something off the top shelf. Reasons being, you climb up there, you can fall while pulling the part down. The part could fall on you or fall on one of the other employees walking by.
Don't jump from a raised platform, and take the time to get the proper ladder and do the job right. Use handholds on stairs and ladders.
So the second demonstration was how to properly use a ladder and climb up the ladder to the top shelf and retrieve your parts. One of the don'ts in warehouse safety is stacking product. If you have something like this, it's too high, and while retrieving a product, it could end up looking like that.
Injuries to the fingers or hands can be avoided if you pay attention and plan ahead. Always be aware of potential pinch points. Slow down and pay attention to what you are doing.
One of the things we'll be going over with is brake drums. Brake drums are usually really heavy, and so we'll just be going over how to properly lift and stack brake drums on a pallet.
Joining me now is Howard Johnston, Industrial Engineer at Betts Company. Howard is going to speak on a number of safety items for our associates.
As an industrial engineer here at Betts, part of my duties include supporting all of the health, safety, and wellness activities throughout the organization, including the truck shop. Okay, because these things are so heavy, body mechanics is really important on these. So what we want to do is make sure that your feet are about shoulder width apart, your knees are right over your feet, and you're going to lean forward so that your shoulders are right over your knees. You should have pretty much a straight line right down through your shoulder, through your knee, through your foot. You want to get the load nice and close to your body here. And when we come up, you're just going to come up by straightening your knees, not by straightening your back, okay? And on these, the other thing to remember too is where your hands are positioned so that when you're putting them down, you don't get your fingers pinched. So get the load nice and close to your body. Just come up with your knees. Small steps to stack this thing on top. And then slowly just reposition it down, keeping your fingers on the pinch points. And make sure these things are really stacked carefully because they are so heavy. If this thing slips and comes down on you, there's a real potential for damage there. So make sure you got the load even on the pallet and that everything is nice and secure.
Let's take a minute to talk about forklift safety. Firstly, you have to be forklift certified to operate the forklift. Before operating the forklift, be sure to put your seatbelt on. When you pull a forklift in, be sure to not hit the columns, because hitting the columns could weaken the rack, causing the whole rack to fall on you. Before backing up, always make sure your surroundings are clear. While driving a forklift, you always want to be aware of pedestrian safety. When entering and exiting buildings, be sure to honk the horn.
In summary, to drive a forklift, you must be certified. Always remember that pedestrians have the right of way, so be on the lookout for them. Let them know that you are there. Report any damage or improperly operating equipment to your manager. Always be aware of your surroundings.
All right, good morning. My name's Carlos. I'm the branch manager for Fresno Truck Parts, and we're talking about safety. And guys here in the shop need to wear their safety glasses, some earplugs, and some safety toes. They're personal protective equipment.
Wearing your personal protective equipment is important to prevent permanent damage to your eyes or ears. It only takes one accident to permanently impair your vision for life. Safety toe boots are important not only to protect your toes from falling objects, but they also provide non-slip support for our shop environment. Certain operations within the shop may require you to wear gloves. Having the right glove for the task at hand is important. It is equally important to know when not to wear gloves, as they can become a hazard around certain equipment. You will receive specific instruction on glove safety for each task you are asked to perform.
The utmost importance of the PPE is to keep everyone safe, because we do not want anyone getting hurt. This way we can stay productive and run a good shop.
Many operations will require 2 employees working together. These might include lifting heavy objects, guiding customer vehicles in and out of the alignment bays, or working underneath a vehicle. It is important to communicate and work as a team to avoid injury or damage to property. Joining me now is Richard Foshi. Richard is our service manager at the Fresno Truck Parts and Service location.
So here at Betts, we analyze making our shop very safe. Our guys are always keeping everything clean. We don't have any loose clothing or anything because we work on the grinders a lot and other situations as far as welding and grinding. Okay, now we're gonna lift this vehicle. Any safety concerns is your vehicle to not roll on you. Obviously, we put wheel chocks on the bus in the back. We're gonna take the jacks and place them under the frame and lift the weight off the axle so that we can remove the front springs. Any safety concerns would be making sure your jacks are secure under your frame so they do not roll or topple. On this particular job, we use a jack with a built-in jack stand in it. Most of the jobs, we try to use that jack so we're not doing 2 things at once. When we're working on vehicles, we try to keep a central location for all your tools, preferably right next to you where you are working so your time consumption is lower.
Always be sure to store tools in the proper place. Never place objects on a customer's vehicle as they can cause damage or fall and cause an injury. Make sure you operate equipment only when guards are in place.
So everything we do is we try to keep our tooling clean. Oil and everything on your tools makes it a bad condition when you're working. My guys, we want to pick up after we're done and clean the bay out so our next vehicle is not sitting on oil or anything.
Maintain equipment in good working order. After each job, tidy up your tools and area before beginning the next job. Replace any damaged equipment or tooling. If a machine is in need of repair, it will be locked out. Never bypass or operate locked out equipment. Be sure to properly store tools and parts where they will not fall and cause an injury. Return tools and equipment to their proper storage area. Immediately clean up any spills. If the spill is large enough, you may need to utilize the spill containment kit. Any greasy rags should be placed in the fireproof containers. Make sure any flammable liquids or cylinders are properly stored. Dispose of any damaged pallets. Know the location of all fire extinguishers and be sure they are accessible. Know your emergency exits and make sure they are not blocked. All associates of Betts Company have a right to know the contents of hazardous chemicals we may have on our property. Safety data sheets are available at every facility. Protect yourself and others by understanding any chemicals and special handling instructions, including personal protective equipment. Our Injury and Illness Prevention Program is a great resource for our safety programs. An important part of our safety program is you. Understand our Code of Safe Work Practices and your responsibilities when it comes to safety. A copy is available at your work site.
We're here to talk about the pre-drive inspection. You want to check the tires, make sure they have air. You want to check the lights, make sure you have a full tank of gas, and make sure there's no obstacles around the tires before you leave.
Perform a pre-drive check of your vehicle. Ensure your load is secure and ordered according to your delivery route. Be sure you have all customer-required personal protective equipment in your cab. Some customers require you wear a hard hat, safety glasses, or a caution vest.
Loading and unloading the vehicle. You want to make sure the load is properly secure, using a forklift as needed. If one's not available, using the lift gate. When securing the load, you want to make sure there's no loose items. Make sure you have the proper straps to tie everything down and everything's secure and tight before you take off. Okay, when you're done with the outside inspection and you're ready to drive, you get inside, you check the mirror, you put your seatbelt on, and you make sure the seat's adjusted to you.
Phones are provided for communication with customers and your branch associates. When driving, your main responsibility is to drive safely. Only use a hands-free device when driving and use your phone hands-free only when conditions allow. In certain situations, such as inclement weather or during heavy or merging traffic, your safety is more important than answering a call. Let it go to voicemail and return the call at your next stop. Your manager will understand that you cannot always answer your phone while on the road.
While driving a vehicle, you want to make sure you use your hands-free device, minimize your distractions while you're driving the vehicle.
To avoid making calls while driving, check in with your branch manager before moving on to your next delivery.
When you're at your stops, you want to check in with the branch to minimize your calls while you're out driving.
Always follow the rules of the road and never text while driving. Remember, you are representing Betts Company. Always be a courteous driver and promote a positive image for your company. Keep your vehicle neat and clean. Remove any trash at the end of the day, and please remember, all Betts Company vehicles are non-smoking vehicles. If you ever become injured on the job, report the injury immediately to your supervisor. This allows us to provide any necessary treatment of your injury. A first aid kit, including eye wash station, is available for treatment of minor injuries. For more serious injuries, we use a medical provider network. It is important that you keep all medical and therapy appointments to ensure a speedy recovery. You will also be asked to share details of how your injury occurred. We may learn how to avoid future incidents from your participation in this process. Hi, it's me again. Well, I hope you found our topics very informative, and most of all, that you will find them helpful ways to keep you safe while you're here at work. And remember, always make sure that you have all of your guards in place if you're operating equipment, you follow all of the safety rules that have been provided to you, that you wear your personal protective equipment, and above all, if you have questions, make sure you ask them. We want to make sure that you are safe. Thank you very much.